Our volunteer program is unique. We have 1,200 volunteers who are so passionate and help our students, and they make a difference. It's what we do. And I'm proud to be part of that team that coordinates all those volunteers with the teachers and our academic-based programming.
When I think of volunteers, I think of fun.
When I think of a volunteer, I think of the word compassion.
When I think of volunteers, I think of kindness.
Gift.
Generous.
Wonderful.
Passionate.
Flexible.
Hardworking.
Selfless.
When I think of volunteers, I think important, key, and vital.
Dedicated.
Commitment.
Patient.
Flexible.
Awesome.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Outstanding.
Selfless. Wonderful. Support.
Caring.
Dedication.
Helpful.
Committed.
Gift.
Dedicated.
Awesome.
Needed.
When I think of volunteers, the word that comes to my mind is selfless.
At Pewaukee, we value our volunteers. We couldn't do the job we do without them. We have passionate teachers and administration, but our volunteers give the one-on-one time to the students that makes us different. Not a lot of communities have such a big volunteer program.
Every volunteer that comes in and cuts or makes a copy or hangs artwork up on our walls makes a difference, because it allows that teacher who may have been doing that kind of work to focus more fully on the instruction they're providing for kids and what our students need.
I use parent volunteers in my classroom as well as the expert listeners and the math mentors. And those volunteers allow me the time to have kids work one-on-one or in small groups. A lot of times if the students are absent or need to catch up on work, or if they might just need a little additional practice, those volunteers that come into the classroom are able to help provide that extra small group or one-on-one time with those kids. And the kids really benefit from that, because I can't always get to every single student that I want every day, so those volunteers are really vital in helping us to do that.
Absolutely. I think as a teacher, to have an extra set of hands to help reach all learners, to help reteach or pre-teach a lesson, and to individualize instruction to help kids learn.
I feel that when teachers give their end of unit tests, particularly, I feel that if there has been a child who has worked with a mentor throughout that unit, I do feel, and I have seen, that their score will be better.
The benefits for students from having an expert listener are so wide and so deep, they can be hard to measure. Students' self-esteem, their perception of themselves as readers changes as they grow and become more successful. They love knowing that they have a person that's dedicated just to them. We see kids become more fluent readers. We see their comprehension grow. We see them jump in their levels of text and their experience. It's a rewarding experience for students and the volunteers that work with them.
One of the measurable benefits that volunteers are supporting teachers in academics is our MAP tests. Students can take those on an individual basis, and we see those scores increase with students who have worked with volunteers in math and reading.
Oh gosh, the students benefit tremendously from having one-on-one time with volunteers. You know, certainly when I think of students who spend one-on-one time for academic needs, not only does it help support the specific academic need, for example, if they read with someone on any given day, but it makes a difference in terms of the way a student starts their day.
I think the kids look forward to being with the volunteers each and every day, and I know because if I need to have a student take the place of someone who is absent, I have 10 hands go up right away to see who can take their place. So I know the kids like to go and read with their volunteers each day.
I remember last year the fourth graders had a retired man who came in and they called him Math Grandpa, and they were just always so excited to have him come in because they're like, oh, today's Math Grandpa Day.
I've heard this right from kids' mouths that, oh, it's not my turn to work with a math mentor today. You know, they're really they're disappointed because they know they're going to get some really good conversation with a math mentor, some small group time with someone that's going to help them learn something they're struggling with, or help them learn something to challenge them.
Students love working with their expert listeners. I was in a 4th grade classroom scrunched down talking to a student, and he looks up at the clock and he goes, "My expert listener is here for me." So knowing that that person is there for him meant the world to him. You can walk down the hallway or past the volunteer room and you see kids sitting shoulder to shoulder with their expert listener, smiles on their face, talking about the books that they're reading, enjoying their time. It's just priceless.
I can tell you that it's so much appreciated when we have people come in every day willing to work with our students. The kids enjoy it, the volunteers enjoy it, and it's really something that will enrich everyone's lives.
I hope our volunteers also have a sense of having positively contributed to the community within any community, but I think especially in Pewaukee, the school system is the heart of the community and is the hub, and to have made a difference in a place that affects your whole community is really gratifying, and I hope they feel that when they leave.
When I think of volunteers, I think of more than just one word. I think of passionate, enthusiastic, dedicated, role models. I could go on and on. We couldn't do it without our volunteers.
On behalf of the staff at PLE, I'd like to thank all of our individual volunteers and certainly groups like our PTO for the numerous hours you give to our kids every year. Thank you.
Thank you, volunteers.
Thank you, expert listeners.
Thank you, volunteers. We so appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, volunteers. I had so much fun this year, and I hope you come back next year. Thank you, volunteers.
Thank you, volunteers, for giving of yourselves to Pewaukee students.
Thank you, PLE volunteers.
Thank you, all my library volunteers, for all of your hard work.
Thank you, Tarchio.
Thank you so much, Lunch Recess volunteers, for being with us every day, rain or shine.
Thank you, volunteers.
Thank you, volunteers, for all your time and efforts this year.
Thank you, wonderful student volunteers.
Thank you, volunteers.
Thank you, volunteers, for all that you do at Horizon, and especially my mom, who's an expert listener.
Thank you, volunteers. Thank you, volunteers.
Thank you from 3rd grade.
Thank you, volunteers. We love you.
We couldn't do it without you, so thank you.
Thank you, volunteers. Thank you, volunteers.
Many thanks from 2nd grade.
Thank you, volunteers.
Thank you, volunteers. We could not do it without you.